You want to be successful in real estate, you got to be able to do one thing, and you got to be able to do it really well. You got to be able to find good deals. I can't even tell you how many times new real estate investors go and lock up a property only to find out that it's not a good deal. And then they're walking around the world saying real estate investing doesn't work. That's just not the case. Let's start off by identifying exactly what is a good deal. A good deal varies depending on the type of investor that you are or the investing strategy that you're deploying. A good deal is going to vary differently for a buy and hold investor versus a wholesaler versus a fix and flip investor. Now, according to Forbes, a property is generally considered a good deal if it meets the following three criteria. Number one, it's listed well below the market price. Obviously, if you're able to buy a property at a discount, you're probably going to make money on it. Number two, it's in a good geographical location. We've all heard the phrase location, location, location. It's like the golden tenet of real estate investing. Well, it's true here too. If it's in a good location, you're probably going to make money from it. And number three, the property is in good condition, meaning that there's no major work that the property needs to be able to get it back out on the market, making money for you. Now, obviously, if you're a wholesaler or a rehabber, you want to buy the property that's super distressed and is beat up, so that way you can add the value, flip it, and make a big payday. So where do these really good deals come from? They actually start off coming from somebody who is very motivated, aka a motivated seller. Now, per realestateskills.com, a motivated seller is a property owner that's motivated or eager to sell their property quickly, get paid cash, and with minimal hassle. The eagerness is usually due to certain circumstances that are linked to financial distress, sudden life events. Something bad happened, like a divorce happened, a foreclosure, a job loss, a relocation, they inherited an unwanted property, something like that. So motivated sellers are not usually in a position, financially or otherwise, to be able to afford to make the repairs, stage the property, pay the real estate commissions, and wait whatever time it takes to be able to sell their property on the open market. So instead, what they do is they opt for the convenience of selling quickly for cash. Absentee owners, these are properties owned by people who don't live in the property. They might live in state or out of state, but if they ever get in a situation that they want to sell, because they're not attached to the property, because they're not living in it, they're probably going to be more motivated to sell it and get rid of it quickly. And then any physically distressed property. These are properties that are in poor condition that may be owned by people who are unwilling to be able to make the necessary repairs. So where would I go to find these potentially good deals? Well, there are public record lists out there that you can buy or get for free that have all of the data for all these different buckets. There's companies that sell lists of pre-foreclosures, lists of tax defaults or tax liens, lists of vacant properties. You can even go to get the probate list of all the recently inherited properties or the properties that are about to be inherited at companies like successordata.com. They'll sell you this data. Or you can go to your local title company and maybe even get these lists for free. Now, pro tip here, if you buy it from a company, you're probably gonna get a little bit fresher data. And if you go to your local title company, the data might be 14 days old or 30 days old or something like that. So what you want to do is get your hands on one of these lists, work that list, contact the owners, because there's a very high probability that a lot of those owners on there are going to be very motivated to sell at a discount. Another good strategy for finding really good deals is a concept called driving for dollars. This is where you're driving around looking for houses that look vacant or distressed, and it's a very popular method for finding motivated sellers. Now, what you want to look for when you're driving around is houses that have overgrown lawns, boarded up windows, or other signs of neglect. Step number one is pick a neighborhood and drive around it. Sometimes I even just, when I'm taking different routes on my way into work, I literally take detours and drive through the neighborhoods, and I'm looking for these distressed properties. Whenever I find one, I literally get out my pen and paper, I write down the address of that property. Maybe I get out of my car, go knock on the door. Chances are they're not going to answer. If they do, talk to them about their house. But if they don't answer, write down the address. I even take out my phone, take a picture of the front of that bad boy, and I just keep driving. I write down as many addresses of distressed properties as I possibly can. Then when I get back to my office or to my house, I look up all those addresses on the county tax assessor's website to try to find out who the owner of record is. I skip trace those owners for their contact information. Skip trace is a simple process. There's lots of skip tracing websites out there. You put in a little bit of information like the address, you pay, I don't know, 10 cents, something like that, and it spits out the owner's contact information. You call the owner and you try to work out a deal to purchase their property. You're gonna do this for every single one of those houses. Now, if you can't get a hold of the owner, you're gonna look at that county tax assessor's website, you're gonna look up the taxable mailing address, and I would create a flyer that literally has, I would mail merge the picture I took of the front of their house onto a little flyer, and at the top of it I would say, is this your property? Because I wanna buy it. Put a picture of that property. Put your, I'll pay cash for your house with your contact information, fire off that letter over to the taxable mailing address of that property owner, and just sit back and wait. When they contact you, work out a deal to buy their property. And number 3 is obviously networking. This is like such a tried and true method, old school. Just get out from behind your computer and get out there and rub shoulders with people. This is a people business. I've never done a deal that didn't have a bunch of other people involved in it. You want to get out there and build relationships with other real estate professionals, such as real estate agents, attorneys, contractors, other wholesalers, anybody that can point you in the direction of finding a good motivated sellers. These professionals may have access to off-market deals themselves, or they know of sellers who are motivated to sell quickly. Also, you could join Facebook groups. There's so much activity going on social media right now. If you are maybe a little bit nervous to go in-person networking, do it online. I knew this kid, his name was Hunter. He was scared of his own shadow. He didn't want to go out and network with anybody, but he was really good at technology. And he was like, Cody, how do I build relationships with everybody in town? I said, do it through different Facebook groups. Literally DM everybody in town and write up your bio, write up your 30-second pitch, write up what value you can bring to them. And he did this over and over and over and over and over, and he actually became one of the largest wholesalers, not only in Arizona, but the entire country. He scaled from never doing a deal before at 17 years old. Now he's doing like 80 deals a month, and he's the #1 wholesaler in the country, and it all started with him networking on Facebook groups. So obviously this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to finding good deals. If we had more time, I could show you 45 more ways to find a great opportunity. But this is 2024. I don't like doing anything the hard way. What if I told you there was a software that had artificial intelligence literally built into it that made finding good deals simple? Like you could be Homer Simpson sitting in your underwear at your house, clicking some buttons, and all of a sudden up on your screen is like every vacant property with high equity, with a motivated seller that AI says, if you call this person, there's a very high probability you're gonna get a yes out of them. It'd be like a software that had psychic capabilities saying, don't call these people, call these people. If you click the link below, there's gonna be a short presentation that shows you exactly how you can put the Deal Automator to work for you in your business. If I was brand new, just starting out, it would be the #1 thing that I would do first, so that way I can do a lot more deals and make a lot more money quickly. That link is down below, and I hope it helps you out. Now get out there and find yourself some good deals. Hey, since I actually mentioned the Deal Automator powered by AI in this video, I actually did another video right here where I demoed the software and showed you exactly how it works and how simple it is to find good deals. Click that video and see how it works.